Hey everybody, this is Brian from pnbhomesteading.com, and I wanted to give you a little visual and pricing for my indoor, what I like to call LED salad bar grow area. So what I've got here is a little area where I like to grow vegetables for our salads for Paula and I. And it's, I've got, well, let me just kind of give you a breakdown of what I've got. So I've got 6 LED lights that are blue and red spectrum. That's these up here. And I've got those are 120 watt each. They are $29 a piece, and I've got 6 of those, so that's $174 I've got in these lights here. And then I've got 2 LED lights which are in this LED light bar here. They're 5,000 Kelvin equivalent, so that's the lowest of the daylight spectrum. I use those and reflect back into the tent, and I've got the foam board here to kind of bounce it back towards the plants. And I've got those are $34, they're $17 a piece. I got those on Amazon. And the holder I already had, so it comes with the tombstones, which are basically what you mount your light to, that hooks into your power, that comes in through the cord of your electrical wall outlet. I don't want to go too much into the electrical and hooking up things, but that comes included with that price, so it's a pretty good deal. Then you have 4 10-inch by 20-inch heat mats. I have those laid underneath the seedling trays underneath here. Those are $52. They're $13 a piece, and it's $52 for the set of 4. And then I have 2 digital thermostat controllers, which those are mounted right over here. You can see this one here. Those control down to the heat mats. They also have a sensor that lets you know what the current temperature is underneath that heat mat, and then you set your temperature to what you would like to have your heat mat set at. I set mine to 74 degrees, so that keeps the feet of the plants nice and warm. Some of these look kind of worn out. We've done pretty much all the harvesting we can do on like the spinach here, so they don't look so well. But we have our these are our we have like regular lettuces back here. These are our kales. We use these. We stir fry some of these because they're a little bit tough until you soften them up with a little bit of stir frying. That's what Paula does. And then we have like our chard, and then we have some mustard greens in the back, and we have some more chard back there. And Paula just harvested these for last night's dinner, so they're kind of sparse, and you get some new growth coming up, but you can see where she's chopped some off. Anyway, we have a roll of aluminum ventilation tape that I use to put around the edges of this foam board, just so that way it seals it off, and then you can tape the edges together and get a nice, complete look, and that way it doesn't have like exposed foam you can bump and it'll just flake off and get into your grow media, that type of thing. Then you have the reflective foam board, which is, this is 1/2 inch, and so we got the roll of vent tape. That was $5. And then thermostat controllers, I have 2 of those. I think I forgot to mention the price on those. So they're $22 a piece, and so I've got 2 of those, so that's $44. And the reflective foam board, I bought a sheet of that. It's 8 foot by 4 foot, and so the rest of it is kind of sitting over here with another set of panels that I've bought that I'm going to be using for another project. Each one of those foam board panels is $12.95 a piece. And then I have the power strip. I have one here, and I have another power strip on the other side. So I priced those at $8 a piece, so that's $16. Then the power cord splitters, so I run the power, comes down, it comes into this unit, and then it comes out through this splitter. These splitters go down to the heat mats, so I've got 1 splitter for every 2 heat mats. So one of these timers is on 2 heat mats, so that way you're not basically relying on one of these in case your timer goes out or your heat sensing unit goes out. You're not going to lose your entire indoor crop. So that way, so I've got these splitters, and I got these off of, I believe, eBay this time. And I got the 2 of those to go into each of those. That's $4.09. And then I have a power timer, which for the daylight and everything. That's right over here. That's this white box here. And so it's basically used to set when I want to have the lights on and have them turn off on a 7-day schedule. And right now I'm running these at 13 hours a day, so that way they simulate like they're out in the longest part of the year, the growing season. So, and in total, so then I got the miscellaneous. So I've got like the wood frame here. I've got these are actually old shower curtain hangers, and so I reuse these. So I also use these. These chains are actually came from an old dining room light that we had. So I repurposed that chain, and they actually make kind of nice little hangers because you can actually unclip these, and you can slide the chain out, you can shorten the length, and then I just use that and hang that right off the lights. So reuse instead of throwing things into a landfill. So then what else have I got? I got the wood frame, so this is just regular old 1/2 inch by 2 by 8 feet. And I got some screws to screw it in. This is a 2x4 I had around. This is an old 4x4 pressure treated post that I had. So I cut that down, made it onto a little edge, and I got a piece of plywood under here. Just a standard table you can probably get off Craigslist for free. That's where I got this one. So I found it. Somebody was going to just toss it away, and I thought, it's a good plastic table with metal legs, so I'll put that to use. Let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, the drawer. I haven't shown you guys the drawer. So what I did is reuse some wood that I had, use some OSB plywood on top of here, and I took some old kitchen drawer slides from our remodel, and I put them on each end, so when it comes time to harvest, you're not sitting here trying to reach past the lights and do all that kind of stuff. You just pull the drawer out, pull it out until it locks. It stays just like that. That way, Paula can come down here, or I can come down here. You may want to lift this light out of the way because it's kind of in the way. Twist this off, unhook it, just like this. Lay it to the side, and you got full access to all of your vegetables right there. Great way to harvest these. And when you're done, you just go back over here, slide it back in, kind of grab the cord so that way they don't get pinched by the drawer. You just slide it back in, just like a kitchen drawer. You just grab on, push it back, it'll lock. It's locked into place. With a little tug, you pull it back out. So if you got little kids, you're worried about things falling, tipping over on them, you got it kind of put in there, and if they're really going to get into it, I guess they're going to pull this thing open. But I also have a chain on the back there, hooked down to this little wooden platform that I built, as well as some clamps holding this thing down so this thing will not tip over unless you really yank on it. And then that means the whole platform's tipping. So you've got to be really pulling on this thing to get it to go. But back to the holes. So the miscellaneous stuff like that, the drawer slides and all that stuff, I priced that at about $30 because it was all used. So total for this whole grow area is $389. And I've been running this setup for about, I'd say 4 years now. No, 3 years. I'd say 3 years consistently, because I used to use this for my seedlings start, but then I have the grow tent over here, the indoor grow tent that I do all my seed starts in and everything now. So this has basically just been relegated for the last year into just doing our lettuce greens. So, but it's, it saves money. I mean, we come down here at least twice a week when we harvest, and then, like this tray here, the chard's getting a little, on its last leg, so this tray is going to get taken out. I take the dirt and the soil, out to the garden boxes outside. I dump it into there because it's good soil. And I use compost tea on it, so it's going to be full of nutrients. So it's not like I'm taking just old dead dirt that's been rototilled and all of that kind of stuff. So I always reuse everything, and then I have my stored organic potting mixes down here on the bottom. So whenever it's time to do a new seedling start, I just grab a tray, keep over here, fill it up with that, spread my seed, stick it up here. I mean, if you want to do something like microgreens, that type of stuff, I'm not really into the microgreen scene or any of that because I don't really want to go into selling microgreens, but this is the way you could get started doing that. And you've got kind of a minimal investment. Some people, it's pretty expensive. You can always cut the cost down. You don't have to use LEDs. You could use compact fluorescents, CFLs, we'll call them that. Just regular old shop lights without the LED. Get a couple of those from Home Depot. Just get the daylight spectrum lights that you want to put in there. It's got to be, if you really wanted to kick up this, you'd want to probably use the 6500 Kelvin. That way it's as close to, really bright daylight as you can get to do your seed starts. And I mean, you could probably pick these up. I think you can get these frames at Home Depot or Lowe's, that type of place. They're like $10. So, I mean, if you get them with the bulbs, I think they come, because you can get the LED ones there for like $29. And that's with the LED. So I'm thinking, just for the frame itself, you don't have to have the little edge guards. It can be without the protection side here. You can find them pretty cheap, or you can just look on Craigslist. People are always giving this kind of stuff away. It's just if you're going to use these without LEDs, they have to have a ballast in them. And the ballast is what goes bad in these things. And then you got to go spend money to replace the ballast if you're using CFLs. So what you get is like up here in my lighting I have under my shop, or our, this is our storage area underneath our house. I have CFLs inside these, and then that way, it's got a ballast in there. So that's when you get the flicker. So you'll see like when they turn on, they got kind of like, they'll get dead spots in the ends. Like this one here has got a little bit of a black spot. You probably can't see that from the camera angle. But they start to wear out, then they don't get the good lighting production that you're going to want for growing things. So that's one of the things you got to watch out for. So that's why I went with the LEDs. I bit the bullet, spent a little bit more on the initial investment, just so that way I'm going to have something that's going to last me 10, 20 years before these LEDs start to go out. And I've been running these. I've had these for 3 years now, and they run 12 hours a day since I've had them. Because when I would do my seedling productions, I would then take, after my seedlings were done, I would put in the lettuces and the kales and the chard and that type of stuff and grow it to where it's, 3 years and they're still going. I haven't had any burnout. And I'm pretty happy with the production we get out of it. Each week we're getting fresh veggies that are better than you can get in the store because they're homegrown. They've got compost tea in them, so you're getting those extra nutrients into your own body. And I'm pretty happy, and Paul is pretty happy. We're pretty dang healthy. All right, this is Brian from pnbhomesteading.com. I'll talk to you guys next week. All right, thanks. Bye.